some of them aren't. One place I realized, but I'd done it after I made copies, so I'm kind of like, oh, too late. There's nothing in this row right here. So, no, I'm going to tell you what to write in words for you to do the rest. So, the words that should be written right here in this space that don't have, that doesn't have anything in it, the word should be hot dogs, must be cooked. So see in the row where I forgot to put something? Put it in there. That's where we're putting this. Hot dogs must be cooked at 160 degrees or more, or refrigerated. I don't know how to spell refrigerated though, so I'm going to take a guess. And y'all tell me if that's right. I feel like there should be a D in there, like refrig. ID, is it a D, G? Okay. I knew I was going to mess that up, but hey. Oh, D and G. Oh. I don't think there is a D in there. Where? Yeah, somebody help me. R-E-F-R-I-G-E-R. Oh, okay. There is no D. All right. Look at me with all this smarts knowing how to spell stuff. All right. All right, cool. All right. So, hot dogs must be cooked at 160 or more or refrigerated at 35 degrees or less. Okay, there's one of those compound inequalities we learned about yesterday. So I'm going to work one of these for you just to kind of give you the idea of what it needs to look like. And I'm going to choose this one right here that I'm going to work for you because that's one of the compound ones. So, and again, guys, taking your test, my bad. I'm going to be as quick as I can, I promise. All right, so the way that compound inequality is written, it's telling you that the number in question can be greater than or equal to -4, but it's got to be smaller than -3. So you can literally just say A is greater than or equal to 4 and less than 3. So the verbal part, A is greater than or equal to 4, because it's, or -4, my fault. There needs to be a negative in front of there. And less than 3. So the first place you're going to see, what is the symbol saying? What is the interval notation saying? What's the number line saying? And put that into words. Okay. Then I've got the inequality already written. For the number line portion, I really don't care. I don't want y'all spending a bunch of time trying to make it like perfectly spaced out or anything like that. You've just got the two numbers. So -4 and 3. Hold, please, while I get that. Anyway, all right, so my number line. So you can see that here, so I need a circle around each of those number lines. And I need to decide whether to fill them in or leave them open. So the first one around the -4. Is there an equal sign there? So do I fill it in? Yes. So that coordinate will be filled in. It will be a closed circle because there is an equal sign there. What about the one that goes with the 3? Is there an equal sign there? No. So I'm just going to leave it open. Okay? We still have to establish the fact that any number in between -4 and 3 could also work. So I'm going to color right in between, and I know that's ugly. That looks really weird. There's no, I don't know what you mean. No, sir. The A is literally, all we need on the number line is we just need to look at this, and it tells us it could be equal to -4 because it's got a filled in circle, smaller than -3, and everything in between. You don't need an A in there anywhere.
Do we actually need to put the other numbers on the number line, or can we just have the two that we
The two that you need are fine. Okay, and then for the interval notation, we need -4 and 3, because those are the two numbers in our interval. Am I going to put a square bracket or a curved bracket around the -4? And why? More important. Yeah, square. Okay, more importantly, why? Because it's equal to. The same reason I filled in the circle is the same reason I'm going to do a square bracket. And then the right-hand side, curved. So you're doing that for each one. You're filling in the missing piece of information that was given to you. In about 15 minutes, I'm going to post on Google Classroom the answer key. I want you to try it yourself first before you check it. That is what makes it stick in your brain better than just copying it down. So I am going to give you the answer key so you can check. However, I'm not going to do that for a few minutes. If you get done before I put that up there, you've got homework that's already posted that you can work on. If you want to see your test, even though I'm not going to let you keep it until tomorrow, until everybody else gets done, but you can look at it if you didn't get a chance to. Although I'm going to be giving everybody theirs back tomorrow. And then double check and make sure you're good on like your mappers or if you need something for another class or something like that. Okay. Anybody got any questions besides Cam? I'll be there in a second, sir. Okay. So again, I'm going to set a timer. In 15 minutes, I'm going to put the key so you can check it, but try your best first. And yeah, I'll see you. Set a timer for 15 minutes from now. Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks. I need you in my life. All right. First of all, the hot dogs remember, it's actually the middle of the road. I'm literally trying to give you an answer. I'm just so confused. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay, so it's got to be cooked at 160 or more, right? We all know that the middle of the road is when hot dogs go bad. You leave them sitting out, that's when there's trouble. But as long as they're cooked and they're hot or they're refrigerated, cold, now can you be hot and cold at the same time? Unless you're an old lady like me that's going through the change, and then that does happen to us. But, okay, mostly that's not normal, right? So that means that this inequality is going to involve two pieces because you can't be hot and cold at the same time. Okay, so this is an example of that compound inequality I gave you yesterday. So x could be greater than or equal to 160 or x could be less than or equal to 35. This is what we call an or compound inequality because having both at once is impossible. You can't. So that's why this is going to be an or inequality. Okay, so that's not going to work. I'm really glad that you asked. Okay, so if it's okay, that's an excellent question. I'm writing this in red. Okay, guys, here's why this one won't work. Or even, for that matter, you can't put them together. If you do something like this, you're actually saying the opposite of what you want to say. You're saying it's got to be greater than 35 and smaller than 160. That's the exact opposite of what you want. There's no way to be hot and cold at the same time. So that's why you've got to do two separate ones. There's no way to combine this one. But you are going to combine them with that word or. So you're still going to use one number line, okay? You don't need two number lines. I don't really care, the spacing, all that jazz is fine. In both cases, they could be equal to. So we're going to color those coordinates in. And you're actually going to have shading that goes in two different directions. You're going to have it going this way to represent that it could be greater than 160. And you're going to be going that way to represent that it's lower than 35. So anytime you see a number line that is going in different directions, you know that this is going to be an or. It involves two components that you can't do at the same time. So remember what I told you were going to have to do about the interval notation. Just like you have to write two separate inequalities, you need to write two intervals as well, because you can't do them both at the same time. You can't be hot and cold together. So I'm going to do the one with the smaller one first, because that's what you do. Okay, so that interval of 35. So because that arrow is going to the left forever, it's a negative infinity and a 35 because it's going forever to the left. So you have to account for that with the negative infinity. Then we need a second interval that starts with 160 and a positive infinity. Do we ever put a square bracket around infinity? No. So the 35 and the 160 have a square bracket because they were equal to. And the curved bracket is because you never put a square around infinity because it's a concept rather than a specific value. Now, I'm not 100% done. We got to add something. Let's see who's going to be a rock star and remember what I need to do to let somebody know these two actually go together. Yes, the U. This is called a union. You put a U, you put a U in between those two intervals. So it lets the person that looks at it know that they belong together. So there's a U that goes in between those both.